Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson.
Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you, getting everything ready for you. First and foremost, we have areas of freezing rain. We have snow that's accumulating up north. Here's a look at the roads. Here's a look at the radar as we begin our day today. It's going to be a long one for some, and we have a host of advisories. We'll get to all of that beginning right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, here's what we have. A whole host of watches and warnings across the region. Look at Glendive, Montana. That red area is a blizzard warning that is in effect. The National Weather Service out in Montana issuing that blizzard warning effective on Sunday, issued overnight, and it ends on Monday at 5 a.m. Wind and snow and blowing snow going to be a problem. This next tannish area in western North Dakota, a wind advisory that's in effect through Monday. Wind gusts over 50 miles per hour will be possible. This lighter tan area is a special weather statement for wind and some icy conditions that'll be expected as we go through the next 24 to 36 hours. The purple area in the Red River Valley, eastern North Dakota, Devil's Lake Basin, that is a winter weather advisory that's in effect here. And we're expecting snow accumulations to be significant. In fact, they already are in places. And then we have a winter storm warning in the Arrowhead of Minnesota, including Rainy Lake and International Falls, where we're expecting some very heavy snow potential. And I do think we'll see some areas of increased snow potential as well. We'll get to the radar in a second here, but let's take a quick look at some road conditions because they're getting pretty bad up in northern parts of North Dakota. So as you look at the DOT map, you can get this information anytime, anywhere on hutchesweather.com. You're going to see these yellow areas. That is the indication here for some ice or compacted snow on area roads across the region. Now, as we zoom in just a little bit at some of the cameras, and you can do this at home too by turning the cameras on the Legend, but essentially, once we get up into that Langdon-Walhalla stretch, we got roads that are covered with ice and snow already in that area. This is a look at that Clyde area on Highway 5. If you have a report, you can share it with all of us by uploading it to hutchesweather.com. I'll sneak those in the broadcast when I can throughout the day. Look at Langdon here. This is unfun travel. That is complete ice and compacted snow on the entirety of the road surface along Highway 5. So overnight, we've had significant amounts of snow already and even some freezing rain underneath it. It's terrible. I did get a report from the Ada area that there's freezing rain and ice all over the place there. Not sure if it's sticking on roads. I've looked at a couple of road cameras. It looks like wet. Here's Cavalier, that Highway 5 area, picking up significant snow already, and it's accumulating on the road surface. So unfun travel there. As we look at I-29 on the north side, here's a look at the western Walsh County, and you can see ice and snow on Interstate 29 taking place. Now, the latest DOT map is showing blue or wet road conditions there. That's going to be some slushy and icy places for sure, as conditions are changing and evolving even while we sit here and speak. Now, as we look into the Highway 200 corridor, I want to caution you here too. Let's look at this Bowden area, Binford rather, I'm sorry. It does look like we're starting to see some wet weather taking place here. A little bit of ice reported on the roads in that area. So I wanted to point out it's not the greatest conditions there. Here's Devil's Lake as we look along Highway 2, and we can see wet roads there. Anywhere where we've got that mist, we could see a little bit of the ice starting to form. Now, temperatures are warmer in the south, and therefore we have just wet roads. I showed a video from my deck moments ago that the conditions here in the Fargo-Moorhead area are warm enough even for my deck that's elevated above the ground to not be at a frozen temperature, and therefore that is not freezing. The ground, however, underneath the ground, that ground temperature, if it's below freezing, there are going to be some roads where this water sits and becomes ice and gets slippery. So this is a look at the North Dakota roads. Now let's take a quick peek at Minnesota roads for you to do a complete coverage here on hutchesweather.com and Hutch's Weather. Here we go. We do have a pink road up here on that Highway 2 corridor. We're talking East Grand Forks into Crookston and all the way down to Fertile there as we take the cut across here. Now, as you look at Highway 2, icy road conditions are likely. We can see water on the area lens there. So again, there's going to be icy roads because the surface of the road on the ground is at a temperature below freezing. It's raining on top of that road. Here's a look at Beltrami, and we're seeing what looks like some puddling wet roads, but again, that's going to be icy in spots. So travelers, it's typical winter driving conditions around here, but it is not fun. Now, I was seeing earlier that we have some incident reports or crashes reported. Here's a look at Interstate 94. Vehicles spun out even down there. Okay, so even on Interstate 94 by Alexandria, we're getting some spin outs and wet roads reported in many areas across the state. Let's take a look at what's going on in Manitoba, shall we? Let's see that, because the roads up north are taking on some snow here in the lower 48. So let's take a look at what's going on in Manitoba for you folks watching from Winkler all the way out towards Brandon. Thank you for watching. I sure appreciate all of you for taking time to check out Hutch's weather. Okay, so on this day, I'm looking for some camera links here. Let me see. That's the legend. Here we go. Let's take a look at this one. So this is a look at Minnedosa, and it looks like that road there is completely covered on the 4-lane with snow and ice. So again, Highway 10, Minnedosa, taking on some significant icing conditions out in that area. Now, as we zoom in just a little bit closer towards Winnipeg and get down here in towards the border crossing areas, I don't see a lot of cameras available. Here's one as we go into this area. Let's see what that looks like. So this is the Morris exit here. It looks like Highway 75. That's just some cold and icy looking roads up in parts of southern Manitoba there. So there you got it. Now let's take a look at that radar, shall we, as we head further into morning. Here's the watches, warnings, and advisories. Now let's turn our attention towards temperatures on the road surface. So this is air temperature. We measure this a few feet off of the ground, and our air temperature is above freezing. But remember, the ground has been freezing for several days, and it's a lot harder to warm up, even though we did get to temperatures that were quite mild yesterday. So we do have some temperatures below freezing up near Highway 2 in parts of northern Minnesota. We should check the road conditions up there with a camera along Highway 11. And go ahead and drop a comment or a picture on hutchesweather.com. Let me know. Look what's going on down here, southwest North Dakota, still near 50 degrees in Dickinson. Models were right on the money with that last night. 34 in Fargo, Fergus Falls, 34 degrees, 36 degrees rather. Park Rapids, you have 32. So cold temperatures out there. Now we'll look at that radar to get you caught up with that. And we'll look at if we have any questions from any of you. Deborah says it's snowing in Walhalla. Thank you for the update there. And it looks like Highway 5 is taking on some pretty significant snow up there. Not a fun day to travel. Lane says, good morning from Arizona. And there's a picture of a cactus. Okay, no snow on that cactus either. Let's see if I can get the radar to pull up here. There it comes, maybe. Let me try one more time. There it is. Okay, so what I want to point out on the radar is this. The radar beam is seeing raindrops up at elevation. It's warm enough for a band of heavy rain south of Bismarck and a band of heavy rain in and around Grand Forks and the Highway 2 corridor. But we already saw that DOT report here on Highway 2 all the way down to Fosston and maybe even up into north central Polk County by Mentor. Very icy conditions are being reported there. So it is freezing when it hits the road surface out there. And a report from Ada of some ice. And thank you for that. That does help a great deal as far as what we're seeing here. So thank you for your reports. Good morning up there. Sarah says Highway 102 towards Crookston has freezing slush and rain. Now, as our temperatures fall from the 34 that we have now across much of the Northern Valley, that slush is going to turn right into ice. When? This afternoon, and we're going to have some significant accumulation up north. Good morning. Good to see you. Let's take a look at the models. The radar is showing snow up here in Langdon to Cavalier, and we can confirm that with the DOT photos that we're seeing from Highway 5 as you go out in those areas. Now, it's showing rain out towards Belcourt, but with a report in Walhalla here of some snow showers taking place on area roads, any of that activity out there near Botno could also be of the white, not wet variety. Okay, quick look at the model and then we'll close this update for you. I will be doing posts with various focus topics throughout the day. The forecast looks nasty because we have the second of this double barrel low system that will be heading our way. It's now centered out here west of Brandon, Manitoba. That's going to be wrapping around through. There will be a surge of cold air heading into Glasgow. And you saw out near Glendive, there is that blizzard warning that is in effect for parts of east central Montana. The winds and the snow that will be happening as we go through the day today into the morning tomorrow will be robust. I did show snowfall totals on last night's video if you want to go back and check that. 1 to 3 inches of snow. So the snowfall amounts I don't anticipate will be too lofty out here. We'll double check our model here real quickly, but I do believe that the winds and the blowing snow will create some very tricky travel conditions for our travelers in northeast Montana. And a look south of Bismarck, Fort Yates, and Grant County, also seeing some heavy rain in the Missouri River Valley there, along Highway 1804 and 1806 in and around the Bismarck area, right along the river valley there. And as we look out to Minnesota here, we did get that crash reported out near Alexandria. We do have some slippery conditions as you get north of the Twin Cities taking place there. Travel between Fargo and the Minneapolis area right now doesn't look too bad, but there's going to be a return to some icy conditions as temperatures fall later this afternoon into the nighttime hours. So steady temperatures now, falling as we go through your afternoon. That's Hutch's forecast. Here's a quick look at the model forecast. This is a look at an hourly updated model, so it has high resolution, number one, and it's showing us a system that'll be rolling out of Manitoba as we go through the day. And boy, I'll tell you what, it looks like it's going to be unfun. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. And this model will go out. I'm going to get one that goes out just a little bit farther. This is the very latest one, though, so it'll be fun to see. It takes our band of snow that is right now in Walhalla, and it's covering roads completely with snow, and it skirts it through Pembina, skirts it through Kennedy and Badger, Greenbush, all the way up into Roseau County there. It keeps the snow line north until we get to noon. At noon, it starts to sneak southward a little bit more. See that? And it's a pretty intense band of snow. I do think Roseau County stands a very decent chance at picking up some significant snow. And it should be ending, and you'll be getting a break as we go through the evening hours as we talked about yesterday. So there'll be a break in the snowfall activity that slides through our region as we go through the late day. But it snows for the better part of the morning and all the way through the afternoon up here in Roseau County, Lake of the Woods County, Northern Beltrami County, and I'm thinking over 6 inches will not be out of the question here with that. Here's the blizzard system. See the isobars real tight together, very windy. We talked about this. This does not get into the Red River Valley until we go through the overnight hours and into the morning. This is midnight, and the wind is really rocking the I-94 corridor between Bismarck through Dickinson and on into Glendive, Montana, Webo, Montana, and all the way out towards Miles City, Montana. So could be some very tricky travel conditions out to the far western counties in North Dakota. Now let's take a look as we get this into Monday morning, show you the timing. Here comes the wind and bands of snow up in northern Minnesota again. So insult to injury on top. It's going to get cold, icy, and it does look like the iciest of the temperatures are going to hold off a little bit. We have this warm air hanging around until about the evening hours. Here comes that blue line that you see right here. There it is. That blue line is a surge of cold air. Temperatures will begin falling here, icing roads, and then it looks like our travel conditions will get worse. So terrible travel conditions in the far northern counties throughout the day is my forecast. I will take a look at the forecast with you right now, and we'll look at a couple of the snowfall amounts together just to confirm what my gut is telling me. And yeah, over the last several model runs, by the time we get through Monday, we're going to have some areas of over 6 inches of snow along the international border. That includes northern Beltrami County, Lake of the Woods County, and Roseau County. And up in the Walhalla zone, Cavalier, all of you folks up in the Northland up here, we're going to see that chance of rapidly increasing amounts over 3 inches, maybe even over 6 inches in a few spots. This is Model 1. Here's another look at another model that's in the same area here, and let's take a look at what it's showing. And it has the track of the heavier snow diving even farther south, all the way into the Waskish area, northern Beltrami County, and a ramp where we see a rapid decline in snowfall amounts as we go into Thief River Falls and south into Polk County. So lower snowfall totals are anticipated, where we're going to get more of that rain out there throughout the day today. However, this system will bring a shot of snow overnight into Monday. So some of us will see our biggest impacts, including here in the Fargo area, Highway 200 corridor, and out in northeast Montana, where we're going to have 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, but blizzard conditions taking place there. I anticipate we'll have updates for you throughout the day right here. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Nasty Highway 4 out of Park Rapids. Cheryl, thank you for your report. Now that I'm getting that, we'll take one more look at some Minnesota roads. I did want to look up in Roseau County real quick. I neglected to do that. And just because I didn't think of it. Number two, now that I looked at the radar, it looks like there's some very suspect conditions starting to begin out in Roseau County. So we do have the snowy roads. You cannot tell whether that's black ice or just wet roads, just like you can't when you're driving. So watch out for icy conditions there. My guess is that we're going to have some of them along northern Minnesota. Lancaster, up in the Kitson County area, we have snow fall beginning out there. It's not accumulating on the road surface yet, but it's been wet, and now the snow is making its way into your area. These roads will quickly take on some snow. So you look at Warren, the area there is wet. As we sneak across the view of the cameras here, yes, it looks very wet. We could have some ice developing on roads there too, with a frozen surface. Thief River Falls area, this is snowing there as you see the snow streaks across the camera lens. A lot of snert on the side of the road there, a mixture of snow and dirt that wind has concocted up that really makes things a little less than pretty. Cass Lake, let's see what we got there. It looks like we've got fog. Freezing fog is probably what we're seeing here. Bridge decks, overpasses, keep in mind those could be quite icy as well. So very icy conditions out near Cass Lake as we get in toward that Bemidji, Walker area. As we look in on Highway 2 near Bagley, that's wet. So we do have wet roads there that's likely icing up in places as well. All right, that is a pretty thorough look at everything going on right now. Calvin, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. I want you to stay safe. If you don't have to travel and you don't like driving this nonsense, then that's great. Just don't do it. If you don't mind, just slow down, because there's going to be some very tricky travel conditions across the region, and it gets worse. Again, blizzard warning, east central Montana. In our area, International Falls, you are in a winter storm warning. Okay, so heavy snow and wind. That could get extended up into some of our northern Minnesota counties. We'll see what the Weather Service wants to do with that. A couple models are hinting at Roseau County, maybe northern Beltrami County getting some heavier snow. And we already know we've got several inches of snow to make the slushy concoction we have on area roads up there near Highway 5. We'll take a look at North Dakota roads here real quick, and I want to look at Botno and see if you're taking on snow there. The latest report from that area showing that you're kind of on the edge here as we look at Dunseith, some icy roads there, probably the fact. It's hard to tell whether it's wet or icy. And as we look out in Botno and points north up there by Botno, we do see that the roads are not covered in snow. So mainly that snow is just starting to whip through maybe Rolla. We don't have a camera there, but if you're in Rolla, let me know what you got. Clyde, definitely seeing some fog, freezing fog, and probably some snow in that area. And we know Langdon to Cavalier looks like this. So redonkulous conditions up in northern parts of North Dakota with icy roads north of the Devil's Lake Basin, north of Highway 2. Highway 2, as you go through Rugby, likely has some slippery spots, but as you can see here, certainly doesn't have the snowy covered roads like we see elsewhere. All right, that's a look at everything. We'll keep you up to date. I will have a deal on snow. Christy's asking how much snow for Fargo, West Fargo. I don't think we'll see very much. By the time we get to Monday morning, we may have an inch of snow, a half inch to an inch and a half, somewhere in that range. But it's going to blow around with that wind that Montana's getting, and it will pick up. So by Monday morning, we will have some slippery roads because anything that's wet will likely ice up. Hopefully it has a chance to dry when we get that break. We'll just see how things pan out, but there will be spots where the slush and the wet on the road freezes up. Heavy fog in Bemidji right now, Karen says. Thank you for your report as well. This is what that looks like on the DOT. I just keep on talking here, don't I? But that's okay. We'll just kind of get a thorough update here going for you. I didn't look into Bemidji, but we did look up out there near Cass Lake. So, I think we did look at Solway. So Bemidji reporting a heavy fog there. Karen, thank you very much. Slush and rain, Highway 102, Crookston, freezing slush. It's all tricky travel today. Stay safe. And again, you can get the very latest on hutchesweather.com. I just want to point this out for those of you who have not seen this yet, but I do have on hutchesweather.com a road conditions tab here for you. Whether you're in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, if you're traveling to Colorado, anywhere in the northern plains from Iowa to Colorado, Wyoming, all the way out to Minnesota, we've got Manitoba roads for you there. all on Hutch's Weather. It lets you know when you're live. Down here, if you sign up for emails, you can do that anytime. And what I'll do is when things get bad, if we have winter storm warnings extended or things that I think you should know, I will send you an email so you know about these facts, and likely we'll have a video update ready for you to view as well. You can also, as you scroll down the page, see more information regarding signing up your kids to be a Hutch's Weather Kid, as well as upload your photos, and I hope to see many more of those as we go through the next 24 hours. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Again, interactive radar right in front of you, showing the pink conditions where we have areas of freezing rain taking place. I expect that to continue and, in fact, exacerbate a bit as we head into the afternoon hours. Northwest Minnesota, we're seeing some of the icy conditions being reported there. Take it easy on roads, and I'll be back with an update again a little later.